back to Sports Talk on Shaw TV. I'm Brandon Hall. We've got Jim Large from the MJ Pavers and Bo from Bo Cycle. Guys, thanks for sticking around. First bout was good. Let's go second round here. About cycling. So of course MJ Pavers. We were talking off camera. Been here for a while, and
yep.
And Bo, you said it's kind of a mecca of cycling here in Saskatchewan?
Well, I think because of Buffalo Pound is where it is. Okay. I mean, we were always part of the road bike series years ago, and there was lots of guys racing, and then mountain biking took over from road biking, and triathlons came in there. But the mountain biking scene was actually picked up by Jim's son Colby. He was a little guy that loved to mountain bike, and he was like the Pied Piper in the mountain bike world. He took a whole bunch of guys. Yeah. They went out to Buffalo Pound, and in 1967, they built some cross-country ski trails, and they had a whole bunch of veins going up and down, and Colby and all his pals, his brother, and they carved the most wonderful mountain bike. And of course, it's the best in Saskatchewan to this day. Okay. People come from the Toon and Regina. Yeah. There's Regina people put on races out there now. And I don't know how many years ago, maybe 8 years ago, we put on the very first Canada Cup race ever. There's only one in each province every year, and we got one and put it on. It was pretty cool. That's
pretty cool. And then you, took over MJ Pavers. How long have you been doing that?
I think I'm probably in my 6th year. We went for a ride one night and met at one of the local coffee shops and had a meeting and an election, and I was silly enough to put my hand up. So, yeah. But no, it's been good, and my interest came initially as much from the physical activity for health side of things, and get involved and be active and be healthy, and encouraging people to use bikes to do that. Yeah. And then got a little bit into the racing, went to a race and tried a road race.
And then got a lot into the racing.
Yeah. Yeah. And then as Brian said earlier, I'm pretty competitive. So, I got kicked in the first road race. So it was go back and try a little harder. So it's been a lot of fun, and still is a lot of fun.
And the Pavers meet Monday, Wednesdays, and Saturdays, and it started off, we were showing up, there was 4 or 5 people showing up, but there was last summer, there was a night I showed up, it ended up being 2 guys and 17 women, which is awesome. So there's all kinds of, we've had nights where there's been 35, 40 people show up to a club ride, yeah. And it is, and it's for all, like Jim says, this isn't just people that are into racing. Right. We get 30 people show up, we kind of split into 3 groups, the fast, the medium, and the slower. And the slower doesn't mean you're not a good cyclist, it just means you're learning how to ride in a group situation, because you get riding 30 people together, everybody has to know what they're doing, so there's no collisions. So as they learn, they move into the next group and move, and we've had lots of people advance up and down. And so if anybody's interested, they can come out, and it's for all abilities here. It will teach you how to be a better rider.
We've actually expanded now where Monday and Wednesday nights, we have one group, which I'll call our little more competitive, little maybe stronger or faster group, meets at a local coffee shop, but we have another group that chooses to not ride on some of the highways we might ride on in terms of the number 1 and that kind of thing. They prefer to stay off that. And they call themselves the Granny Group, but they're a group representing the Pavers, and people can go out there. So it gives us really nice flexibility in terms of new riders or riders, depending on their strengths, can kind of pick and choose which group they want to ride with. So.
And Jim also tried to get a mountain bike faction going last year, where on Sundays they would meet out at the lower chalet at Buffalo Pound, and just the trails out there, like I said, are spectacular. And so it's just a nice ride out there. You can go hard, or you don't have to go up if you don't want to. You can just ride around the levels, and it's just beautiful out there.
A wonderful thing. So you've got road and mountain on. How about, is there any touring or anything like that available?
We don't, as a club, do a lot of touring or that, but we certainly make the information and that out there. Personally, I like to tour. I like to do 3 to 8 day little tours in the Rockies or what have you, where I carry my own stuff, go with a couple of friends, and some of us did Vancouver to Calgary last year, from 4 people from here. Brian and his wife just did Cuba, as he mentioned earlier in the show. So we do have people that do it, but in terms of part of the club, it's pretty limited in terms of our club. We're more specifically mountain and road.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So Saskatchewan riding compared to, I guess you can't really compare it, it's all apple and oranges, but what kind of the scenery, probably nothing beats it.
Well, just to kind of explain that, we had, like when we did the Canada Cup race, we had these people riding across the prairies, and as they were coming in from Quebec thinking, and in BC they're going, where is there going to be a mountain bike race here? Well, we don't have mountains, but we got great valleys.
Yes.
So that's where it was. So they came across the prairie doing this one, and when they showed up and saw some of the descents, like back in 1967, there used to be a ski jump out at Buffalo Pound. Well, it went like this, and beneath it was this hill like this. Well, that was part of the downhill for the course, and we got rave reviews for our course from all of the riders. The top rider in Canada and the top woman came to me personally at the end of the race and told me it reminded them of the Sea Otter Classic. It was fabulous, and they hoped we'd keep doing it. Unfortunately, there wasn't enough money to be made to carry on.
Maybe someday in the future, maybe.
You never know. Yeah.
All right. So let's go bigger scope with the Olympics coming 2012 this year, at the end of July in London. When it gets to that granite stage, is Canada well represented in cycling?
I think we're getting better. Certainly, we've got some Canadians now riding on the Pro Tour. Right now, Ryder Hesjedal from Canada is doing very well in one of the major races over there. I think he had the leader's jersey for a couple of days. So we're starting to get there. We're starting to get a developmental process built where a former professional cyclist, Steve Bauer, is trying to put together a Canadian team to race on the Pro Tour. And interestingly, as we were talking off camera, he's targeting hockey players as his pool for athletes.
Isn't that something?
Because he understands that in Canada, if you want to go after your main body of athletes, traditionally, our better athletes turn to hockey. It was the sport where you could become
7 months of the year, there's snow here. Yeah.
So it's interesting that we are starting to see a bit of a push. Some of our national junior teams train in Europe now.
Which makes the difference. That's the big difference here. Canadian, you look at Europeans, they cycle year round, because they have the climate. But around here, it's tough. You got to send your national teams abroad so they can train here. When I was in Cuba, we passed the Bloor team. Well, very quickly, it was, and they were gone by us, but there they were, 20 riders over in Cuba for a month training. And that's got to cost money. They stayed at the all-inclusives and they rode every single day, just putting in miles, because you can't do it in Canada in the winter.
No, you can't. And that's how it is. Jim, you were telling us a great story when it came to the Olympics about a guy with one leg.
Yes.
Say what?
An athlete that was up until not very long ago employed at SIAST here in Moose Jaw. He's since moved on, still with SIAST, but he's out of Saskatoon. But Arnold Bolt won, I believe it's 4 gold medals in the Paralympics back in the 70s as an Olympic high jumper. And he started about 4 years ago. He was going to try and get back into high jumping because he wanted to go compete on that international stage again, and realized that it probably wasn't going to happen in high jumping, but he was a cyclist. He did like to cycle. And so he decided to give that a shot. And presently he's riding with our national Paralympic team, and as far as I understand, he will be part of that team when they go to London for the Paralympics. So
how about that?
Phenomenal story, and an incredible athlete.
And very interesting fellow to ride with. It's kind of, when he's in the pack with you, there he is, one leg climbing the hills with you and everything. It's pretty unique.
There's no excuses when it comes to, this guy's got one leg and he's ripping it up. No excuses.
Nope.
All right, while we're on the Olympics train here, I thought we would play a little game called Touch the Cup Trivia. Sounds dirty, but it's not. We got a cup here. A little low tech, but humble beginnings, right? So, yeah. So what we're going to do is, if you know the answer, first one to touch the cup for bragging rights. If you get it right,
okay,
you win. Again, I don't know if you win or you lose. Who
Yeah.
knows? All right, so we're gonna play the trivia Canada at the Olympics. So let's see if we can do it here.
Good luck.
Good
Yeah.
luck. All right, you ready to go?
Rock
Guys ready
it.
to rock? Okay. What were the first Olympic Games that Canada competed in? Was it, should I not say that? 1900 in Paris, 1904 in St. Louis, 1896 in Athens, or 1908 in London? Bo.
I'm going with 18. No, it couldn't have been 1896, but that's what would have been my pick.
Okay.
I'm going to go the 1904.
You said what?
1904.
1904? Jim's in the lead. 1904, the very first appearance of Canadians in the game. Congratulations, you have one. All right, let's get going over here. All right. Who was the first Olympian from Canada to win a total of 6 medals? Was it Cindy Klassen, speed skater, Victor Davis, a swimmer, Clara Hughes, cycler, speed skater, or Simon Whitfield in the triathlon?
Victor Davis.
Boy, Clara Hughes.
Clara Hughes. Both the Big Goose Egg, Cindy Klassen, speed skater. All right, here we go. Let's see if you can tie it up or you can take it all, all right? Last one here. And this is a good one. Who was the Canadian women hockey team's fiercest competitors from 1998 to 2006? Here's a curveball here. United States and Iceland, United States and Finland, or United States and Sweden?
United States and Sweden.
That's what I'd have picked too.
You're both right. So by
Yeah.
default, we got Jim Large.
Yeah.
Big winner today. Congratulations. I don't know what you win, but
Yeah, the cup.
the cup. There we go. You can take the cup. I like it.
You know, we work at the store together, so he's won his bragging rights. I'm not going to hear the end of this for weeks to come.
Turn
now.
around the cup. I like it. Well, guys, thank you very much for joining us. Of course, Jim Large for MJ Pavers. Any last words, there, Jim?
No, just urge people to get a bike and get riding.
All right, and Bo, of course.
Cycle for the health of it.
Of course, that's another edition of Sports Talk on Shaw TV. You can go to the website, or you can email as well, mjshawtv@shaw.ca. You can phone us 691-7395 if you have any ideas for the next show, any topics. If you want to come on the show as well, you can contact us. Like us on Facebook and follow us at Shaw TV Moose Jaw. And again, I'd like to thank the silo for feeding us, for watering us, and cooping us up in the booth here. We like it and appreciate it. So thank you very much, Silo. And thank you for joining us for another edition at Sports Talk on Shaw TV. I'm Brandon Hall. Take care. We'll catch you next time.